Welcome back to another episode of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Brendan Pham, here joined with forecaster Caitlyn Bell. And Caitlyn, we saw a few snow showers this past Tuesday and even some that accumulated up in Tioga County. Are we going to see more of that?
Right, Brendan. Well, first of all, it's great to be back on the show. And I mean, temperature-wise this week, we are going to be on a temperature roller coaster, a lot of fluctuations, and precipitation-wise, I would say more rain showers for the second half of the week and into next week.
Got it. We'll have more details on the forecast coming up. But first, let's head over to Nature in the News. Cities often run a few degrees warmer than surrounding suburban areas on a sunny day. This is a result of the urban heat island effect, where dark-colored impervious surfaces absorb more heat than green spaces. Scientists have taken a trip out to Reno, Nevada, one of the fastest warming cities in the United States, to get a better understanding of this effect. It was found that parts of the city varied by over 15 degrees Fahrenheit. The impervious rich areas were about 10 degrees warmer than neighborhoods with lots of green space and at a higher elevation. With high-resolution heat mapping, target areas could be identified where mitigation efforts could be focused. Some of the best mitigation methods included making roofs and pavement light-colored and reflective in conjunction with adding more green space, which could reduce maximum temperatures by over 5 degrees. Using new innovative surfaces coined super cool materials could reduce the temperature by up to 9 degrees Fahrenheit. So while climate change is exacerbating the urban heat island effect, this new study helps shed light on how we can help most efficiently reduce heat in cities.
From 2021 to 2030, an initiative declared by the United Nations aims to halt ecosystem degradation and restore 350 million hectares of forest. Planting trees is the most common approach, and fast-growing species are often the preferred choice to deliver quick returns. The selection is based off their high rates of photosynthesis. However, a study showed that these species are outperformed by those that have a lower maximum rate of photosynthesis because they are considered to conserve their resources more efficiently. A series of experiments were created where tree species were planted in blocks of the same age and type. Scientists repeatedly measured tree height to capture growth rates, which were compared to the average for that experiment across of all the species. They were categorized as being acquisitive or conservative, finding that the former tends to show growing in most experiments. Overall, global restoration ambitions demand that locally tailored solutions in tree selections should align with socio-economic and ecological context.
Insecticides can be useful for many farmers in protecting their crops from harmful insects, but a new study has found that they may contribute to a larger number of weeds. Researchers here from Penn State completed a study on the effects of using insecticides as a preventative measure versus solely when an insect problem currently exists. The study found that using insecticides in general resulted in slightly more weeds, especially mare's tail, a common but native weed found here in Pennsylvania. The researchers reasoned that having fewer weed-eating insects allowed the weeds to become more abundant across the land. With greater abundance of weeds, more herbicides are being used to combat the spread of these plants, but some weeds are becoming tolerant against common herbicides such as Roundup. However, the researchers highlighted the integrated pest management approach by only using pesticides only when needed. By using this approach, the positive effects of pest management and weed growth can be maximized.
A new University of Michigan poll finds that 3 out of 4 older Americans have experienced at least one extreme weather event in the last 2 years. Living through these events appears to make a big difference in how they view the impact of climate change on their health, as a large percentage of people aged 50 or older are concerned about this possibility. However, only 6% had talked with a healthcare provider about ways to prepare themselves, while other respondents reporting a health problem or disability that limits their daily activities did not. The poll was conducted in August of 2024 before some of the most devastating extreme weather events, such as Hurricane Helene in September and the Los Angeles wildfires in January 2025. Extreme heat was most common experienced by residents, with 63% saying they had experienced at least one major heat wave in the past 2 years. Poor air quality due to wildfires, severe storms, and prolonged power outages also had significant influence. While extreme weather events can alter overall health and influence perspectives, they can also drive people to engage in sustainable behavior and consumption in the future. we are going to see that big fluctuation in temperatures for the rest of the week and into next week, and some precipitation mixed in as well. So let's jump into our surface maps. So for Friday, we do have this slot of rain for central PA to the west, and here in State College, we are going to see mostly overcast skies for most of the day into the afternoon and the evening. And although those rain showers will stay most of the day, we will see those temperatures about average this time of year. But to our north, our northeast, we will see just a little bit more chilly temperatures in places like New York. But a big surprise, as we head into Saturday, we do have that low pressure system and all that rain behind it. And in the morning, most of the state that will be impacted is the northern part of Pennsylvania with those rain showers. However, here in State College, we may see an isolated shower or two in the morning. And again, with that rain, we will see those windy conditions here in State College as well. But as we move over into the eastern part of the state, we do have those partly cloudy conditions. And although Saturday is going to be nicer in the afternoon, we do have those rain showers in the morning and returning into the evening. But as we head into Sunday, again, looking much like Friday, however, we do have this low pressure system still here to our north. And in terms of wind, not as windy as the day before. We do still have that breezy weather here in State College with all that rain, most of the state covered in rain for most of Sunday. So let's recap our weekend. Friday, we do have those rain showers for most of the day and the evening as we are sitting in that trough for Friday, 57 degrees in the day. But as we head into Friday night, not much of a temperature change. However, our low for the night will be 48 degrees. And again, that rain does continue. But as we head into Saturday, 73 degrees for our Saturday. We are going to see some very nice conditions, hopefully, in the afternoon. But remember, we do have that chance of rain showers in the morning. But as we head into Saturday night, we do see those rain showers return again with a low of 53, breezy conditions. Sunday looking like Friday, and the temperatures looking like Saturday, the day before, just a little bit lower with a high of 66. The rain does return. Up next, we have a feature by Filippo Formica on baseball weather.
Baseball, America's national pastime. I'm student meteorologist Filippo Formica, and with collegiate baseball already underway at Medler Field at Lubrano Park on Penn State's campus and MLB opening day on March 27th of 2025, I wanted to take a look at how weather has impacted the sport in some very wacky games. Did you know that Hall of Famer Derek Jeter's first ever game at Yankee Stadium was played during the snow? April 9th of 1996 was the Yankees' home opener at Old Yankee Stadium and the rookies' first game in the Bronx. This game featured wind-driven snow showers and temperatures in the mid to upper 30s and ended in a Yankees victory over the Kansas City Royals 7-3. This game featured a dominant performance by the pitchers with no home runs being hit by the Bronx Bombers as Chris Haney took the loss with 6 innings of 7 hit, 1 earned run ball, although 4 runs scored on the starting pitcher. Meanwhile, the winning pitcher, Andy Pettitte, pitched 6.1 innings, allowing 3 earned runs on 6 hits. The rookie, Derek Jeter, batted 9th that day, recording 1 hit in 3 at-bats. Snow games typically happen early on in the season, but weather delays can impact games across the entire season, including the Fall Classic itself. Game 5 of the 2008 World Series between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Philadelphia Phillies had to be played on 2 separate days. The game started on October 27th of 2008, but a half an inch of rain falling on Philadelphia throughout the day created terrible playing conditions on the field with puddles and ponding ongoing across the base paths. The game would be paused and resumed 2 days later on October 29th, resulting in a 4-3 Phillies victory. This victory would also mean the end of the World Series as the Philadelphia Phillies came out victorious 4-1 in this series. Even though the celebration was 2 days delayed, the city of Philadelphia finally got its baseball championship. The crack of the bat on a home run swing can be quite loud and send fans into a frenzy, but not as much as a crack of thunder. That's exactly what happened on July 8th of 2012 when in the top of the fourth inning in a game between the Minnesota Twins and the Texas Rangers in Arlington, a strike of lightning struck near the stadium and caused all the players and fans to rush towards safety and the game to go into a weather delay. This game would eventually be resumed later that day and in fact go into extra innings with a 4-3 Texas Rangers victory in 13 innings. This game in total would take 4 hours and 32 minutes from start to finish. Every fan and every player hopes to spend a day at the ballpark on a sunny summer day, but these wacky weather conditions are part of what makes the game of baseball so wonderful, and adapting to these conditions makes every game of baseball just a bit different. Is there any wacky weather in the forecast for next week? The extended forecast is up next.
Well, we are really going to see those temperature fluctuations even into next week as we move through the end of March into April. But first, let's recap our weekend. So for Friday, we do have that high of 57 degrees, above average for this time of year. Overnight, the 48 degrees. And Friday, again, is going to be that rainy day, not so pleasant, rain showers all day and into overnight. But they will soon dissipate into Saturday afternoon, 73 degrees, very nice conditions, very different from Saturday, but remember, over Friday night into Saturday morning, we do still have that possibility of an isolated rain shower or two here in State College. But as we move into Sunday, looking much like Friday, our high of 66 degrees and our low of 54 degrees. And as we move into next week, we still have this temperature roller coaster, but Monday looking to be a lot like Sunday, temperature-wise, around 65 degrees, and those rain showers will carry over into Monday. But our Tuesday, look at this, our temperatures plummet way down, even below average for this time of year, which is sitting at about 50 degrees. Our temperature for Tuesday around 45 degrees. However, the precipitation does give way for that day, and we will have mostly cloudy skies on Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday looking to be about the same, just a little bit above average on Wednesday with overcast skies. Thursday, that rain does return, and we do see temperatures rise back up just a bit. Friday, the rain still continues, and our temperatures dip back down. And although we do see this temperature fluctuation, this is very normal for this time of year as we end March and head into the beginning of April. Up next is our Weather Whiz Quiz answer.
The latest date State College received measurable snowfall was on May 9th, which happened in 1947, where they only received 0.2 of an inch of snow. But that wasn't the only time State College received measurable snowfall.
Right, Brendan. So the other time was actually May 1st in 1963, where we received half an inch, but it doesn't look like we're going to see snow in the next week anytime soon.
Yeah, a warmer regime is on the way, so it looks like those snow chances are going to be rain chances instead. But that's all the time we have today for this episode of Whether or Not. Be sure to tune in next week for a new episode.